Today we'll be making an Olive Garden style breadsticks recipe. This recipe is very tasty and has a nice texture to breadsticks. So what you're going to need is 3 cups of flour, oil, olive oil or normal oil, 1 tablespoon granulated garlic, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, some Italian seasoning, about 1 teaspoon, and I'm just using dried basil because that was in our house. You're going to need about 2 tablespoons of sugar, a yeast mixture, which is 1 tablespoon of yeast, a pinch of sugar, and some warm water heated to 115 to 120 degrees water. You're also going to need another 1 cup of warm water to add into the flour. So you start by having the flour and add all the ingredients. This is the granulated garlic and the other seasonings. Add some sugar, the yeast mixture, which has risen for some time, and the oil. Okay. As you can see, it's nice and floppy. And the oil, I'm using olive oil because it's Olive Garden style, and mix it with. Now add the water. This is warm water, heated about 120, like the yeast mixture water. And then mix it more. As you can see, it's getting really sticky, and once you get it all in a big clump, you can add more flour. Okay, I got it all in one big clump, and I start with 1.5 cups of flour, and then I add the other half of flour because I don't want it to get too chalky or too sticky. This helps in the mixture. Okay, you can see that the flour and the mixture is getting really sticky and lumpy, so you just want to keep on adding flour when it gets sticky and keep mixing it. Okay. Now when it gets nice and smooth with a little bit more flour, I'm going to start using my hands once I get all the flour that's in the bowl. Okay, I'll use my hands now. I'm done kneading in the bowl now, and it looks like a nice, better texture. So I'm gonna put a little bit of flour on the table. Just tease it a little bit and knead it for 5 to 10 minutes till it gets smooth and elastic. It, and I'm almost done. If you can see the consistency, it's not sticking when I put my hand on it, and it's nice and smooth. So I'm gonna put a little bit of oil in a bowl and put it in there. This is the bowl that I used for my mixture. Just mix it up so it gets all the oil. Put the oily side on top and then mix it on the bottom so the whole thing gets oiled, and then after it's all oily, you can smoothen it out and set it aside to raise, and it can double in size. Okay, so you want to close it off and let it rise some time. Okay, I'm back, and the dough has risen. Let me just take this out though. The dough has risen a lot. It's floofy and it's doubled in size, so you can deflate it. It's so satisfying. side. Just deflate it off so there's no air in it. And then put this aside and knead it a little bit more. It's getting sticky, so I'm adding more flour and kneading it good. If it gets stuck to the table, just take those bits and add them onto the mixture. Knead it more. See it sticking here? See, we've got all of it. Okay, so I'm kneading it into one giant breadstick so it's easier to make the pieces later. And kneading this reminded me of a joke that I once heard. It's, what did the baker say when he found his lost bread? That's just what I needed. Get it? Because like you need bread. But not like need bread. Need bread. With a K. Okay. Okay, I'm cutting the giant breadstick in half so I can make the pieces. And then marked it in line so it's easier to cut. Okay, this is just half of one. I'm only doing half of one at a time for right now. But okay, gonna cut these and then fold them. Okay, right now I'm making them all into balls so it's easier to spread them out. Okay. Okay. Okay, right now I'm making a melted butter paste to apply onto the breadsticks before and after they bake. So that's just basically a nice topping that will help give it flavor. Okay. And you want to melt a little butter on 30 seconds in your microwave until it becomes sort of pasty but liquidy. And apply that onto the breadsticks, nice and shiny. This breadstick looks fat, so I'm gonna eat it once it's done, so I get the most flavor. Just a little more. Okay, and now we cover it with a cloth and set it aside for 30 minutes until it rises a little bit. So I've come back from after 30 minutes. Well, it actually only took 20 minutes for the dough to rise because our yeast was really good and it almost tripled in size, and that helped with the dough earlier too. That rose in 1 hour, instead of 1.5 hours, what it usually takes. But right now, I'm just trying to get them all on the same pan so it's easier and they cook equally. And you can see that they're nice and fat now. And now you want to preheat your oven to about 380 to 400 degrees when you're baking the breadsticks, and cook it for about 15 or 10 to 15 minutes. Well, basically until it gets a nice color, but it should be 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, right now it's at 377, so it's pretty much almost good to put in. So I'm gonna wear my oven gloves. Then it's got 380, so I'm right on time. So, right, I forgot to open it. Open the oven. And then you want to put it on the top so it's not that skinny or not undercooked. Okay, close it up. So our 15 minutes initially didn't work. It didn't get a nice golden-ish color or reddish color. So we added another 5 minutes. If that's the same case for you, you can cook it for more time. We just made it 20 minutes. And the smell is so good. Can't wait to eat it. Okay. I'm gonna put it right here because I don't want it on the gravel. And you're gonna apply your butter paste again for flavor. And I put a little bit of California garlic salt in it, so it's more flavorful. The oven is still on. Oh. Okay. You can multiply it if you want. Nice and fat and risen. These ones on the sides are a bit doughy because they didn't get enough heat, but it's okay. Still good on the inside. Okay. Now, take the fattest one and put it on a plate. I'm gonna eat it with a little bit of marinara sauce for flavor, which is usually what breadsticks are eaten with. It's really hot right now. We'll let it cool down. It's cooled now, and I've cooled down, and I've got another one because I can't control my appetite. But I'm gonna take a piece and eat it with marinara sauce. It's fluffy on the inside and crunchy on the outside. Good texture. Okay, like and subscribe.